On October 25, 2008, the eyes of the racing world were transfixed on Santa Anita Park for that year's edition of the Breeders' Cup. But on the other side of the country, one of the saltiest veterans of the sport was taking his last look at the storied Belmont track. On the side of his first start, the 10-year-old gelding Evening Attire took his final bow to the cheers and adorations of his fans. A millionaire twice over, the beloved Gray raced 69 times throughout his career, winning at least one graded stakes every year from 2001 through 2008, and all of them except one in New York.
He's just a once-in-a-lifetime horse. Being a gelding and things, it kind of makes it a little tough to go off for a stud career. So he hung around, he participated at a high level all his life. He loved doing what he did. He's definitely the best horse, I've ever been around. And I doubt whether I'll get another one like him.
Every time I think of Evening Attire, and every time I see him, I think that, race horses, if they want to run, they run.
I rode him in probably 5 or 6 races, and then I retired and he kept going. I almost wanted to come out of retirement just to ride him one more time.
Bred by Hall of Fame trainer Thomas Kelly and his partners Joe and Mary Grant, the son of 2001 Breeders' Cup Classic winner Black Tie Affair was eventually turned over to Tom's son, trainer Patrick Kelly. The colt took to the track immediately, but had one peculiar habit.
When he was a 2-year-old, we took him over to the gate and he broke slow. Yeah, it'll be okay race day.
If there's any one quirky thing about him, he would always break a step slow, sometimes 2 steps slow.
I've been following him for maybe 4 or 5 years, and it all started because I saw a gray horse walk out of a gate and win a race.
He just was a tremendous finisher. That was his style, and I never tried to change him out of it.
That style would lead him to victory in 6 graded stakes in his first few seasons, including a win in the Jockey Club Gold Cup and a valiant effort in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Soon after, Evening Attire became the toast of New York. But in the 2004 Saratoga Breeders' Cup Handicap, he found himself face to face with New York's other gutsy gelding, Funny Side.
He took on all comers. He never really shied away from anybody. I think the press tried to just, hype it up. I mean, it was neat to run against Funny Side because he has a lot of fans and we had a lot of fans.
And they're off.
They were giving away Funny Side beer mugs and it was like 70,000 people there or something. And we kind of spoiled the show for Funny Side, I'm afraid.
Woman's band cuts the corner. Funny Side's in an all-out drive. Those two head-to-head for the lead. Evening Attire and Alumni Hall. They're coming into the final furlong. And the gutsy gelding Funny Side doing battle with Evening Attire. And Evening Attire takes the lead. And he pulls away. Evening Attire left Funny Side and the rest in his wake. Evening Attire wins by 5 lengths on the wire.
As the years stretched on and his competition called it quits, Evening Attire kept winning stakes and fans. But even the classiest of horses can't escape the inevitable strain of the track. At 8 years old, Evening Attire's return was, for the first time, in serious question.
When he was 8, he actually had a little boo-boo. It wasn't a fracture, but something was wacky. Just weren't sure what was going on at the time. We decided to just give him the time. We gave him 2 or 3 months.
But Evening was unwilling to call it quits just yet. 8 months passed, and with each day, he became more and more anxious to be in his backside stall. And in 2007, a 9-year-old Evening made his return to the track, taking both the Stymie and the Grade 3 Queens County Handicap.
They come down to the finish now. It is still Barcola. Here comes Evening Attire with a final surge. They're coming down to the line. And yes, Evening Attire did it. The old warhorse did it.
But as he went into his 10-year-old season, the Gray went on an 0-for-5 losing streak. With many people starting to doubt his return as the wisest choice, the Grants and Kellys set about finding the best race for their aging star.
Philadelphia Park put on a stake at a 1.5 miles, to participate in the Breeders' Cup program a little bit and help prep. And we went down there. It was very, very hot. It was July and it was like 100 degrees. And I said, oh boy. He had never actually won a race out of New York.
And they're off. And Barcola breaks on top. Certainly no surprise there. But Barcola from that inside gate gets a good start. Now, Evening Attire always off slowly, but he did get out of the gate well today. With 3 furlongs to go, Evening Attire still about 4 lengths behind. They now make their way around the far turn. They're trying to get to Barcola. Barcola leads it a length and a half. 3 in the bag, working harder on the outside. Here comes Evening Attire now. Evening Attire, the old guy, beginning to get involved as he makes a run on the inside. They come to the top of the stretch. It's Barcola. Barcola bracing for the challenge of Evening Attire, and Evening Attire comes rolling through on the inside to get the lead. They come to the last furlong, and Evening Attire is now in front by 3. Barcola had no answer. On the outside, it's still the power, but it's Evening Attire drawing away. The 10-year-old's going to do it again. Evening Attire by 4, by 5. Evening Attire, a convincing winner. Phil the Power was second. Barcola was third. Evening Attire, amazing.
His impressive Greenwood Cup victory and track record time earned him a spot in that year's new Breeders' Cup Marathon race. But Evening Attire wouldn't make it to California that year. On September 28, 2008, it was announced that Evening Attire would finally retire due to a minor tendon injury.
Just one of those things where you give him 6 months or a year, you're going to crank up an 11-year-old. It's kind of... He had done more than enough, and I think was probably ready for retirement this time around.
Now, Evening Attire spends his days at Ackendale Thoroughbred Rescue in Pawling, New York, not far from his connections or his fans.
They did have a number of farms that were looking to retain Evening, and I know there was a lot of play for him to stay in New York, be it here or somewhere else, and I think people were really, really happy that he ended up staying here.
He's America's horse, or New York's horse for sure.
I think for fans, I think he's a great horse because he could run for so long, so people knew his name for so long, and I think he's good for the industry.
He's one of those kind of throwback old-time, could race every couple of weeks kind of horses if you wanted to. You know, they just don't make them like that anymore. It's kind of what the story is.